To install a battery tender plus on a 93 to 97 Camaro or Firebird, in this case a Z28 and LT1, what you need to do is you need to unhook the negative battery cable, which is going to take a wrench that is a, let's see, I believe a 5/16, and I recommend using the box end if you have that type. And you're just going to place the cord over to the side, then go ahead and unhook the positive terminal 1, and after that you'll pop the top on the junction block and you'll undo this bolt that is a 10mm bolt. You'll use a socket and a ratchet, and go ahead and feed the wire from the battery tender in through this top portion so this plastic portion won't get in the way. You can't simply just put it underneath this one. So you'll go through this hole here and then you'll put the bolt back on. For the negative one, what you'll do is you'll undo this bolt, which is also a 10mm, and you'll put it underneath this negative ground cable. And what I did is I took the wires around the coolant overflow reservoir and I ran them through here, and I haven't really decided what else I'm going to do. I may just tuck it in there when not in use. That'll keep it out of the way of the hood closing. I'm not really sure. Anyway, how this works is the end of this plugs into the battery tender, and that way this is like a quick disconnect pigtail. So after you get that fed through there, wherever you'd like to put it, you're going to hook the battery post back up before you plug it into the battery tender. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to hook the positive up first, then the negative, using the 5/16 inch wrench. Okay, this video is how to install a 12-volt battery tender plus on a 98 to 2002 Camaro or Firebird or Trans Am. In this case, it's a 2002 Camaro SS. First things first, I'm going to undo the negative battery cable and tuck it away. Then I'm going to undo the positive battery cable and tuck it away. After that, where I'm going to install it is going to be on this ground wire here and on this positive terminal area here. I believe this is for jump starting. I didn't verify that in the owner's manual, but it's literally the only place you can install it on one of these cars, because if you use the rings, if you try to use the rings on here, this piece of plastic is going to get in the way and you won't be able to bolt the wires back into the battery. And also the holes are ever so slightly too small to fit the bolt that's holding the wire to the battery. So you pretty much have to do it this way. And I've read on LS1 Tech and Camaro Z28 and ls1.com that this has been the way that a lot of people have been doing it, and it's worked for many years. So that's the way we're going to do it. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take a 5/16 inch wrench. You're going to remove the negative cable first and then just tuck it to the side, and you're going to then do the same exact thing with the positive cable. Next, I'm going to take a that is going to require a 1/2 inch socket, and that is going to require a 5/8 socket. So we're going to do the positive one first, and I'm going to remove this. I'm going to put, well, I'll have to make sure that the battery tender plus thing actually goes over this. Gonna have to make sure of that. Might need to make it a little bigger. Gonna have to see. Okay, first things first, I was wrong. It was actually supposed to be metric. This is a 15, and this is a 13. This is actually really difficult to undo, and it will release with a real sudden pop. So what you're going to have to do to make sure you don't break any plastic, which fortunately I didn't, is you're going to have to push with your left hand pretty decently hard to make sure that this stays pretty stiff, and just go at this with a little bit of leverage and boom, it'll come off. And this one's actually a bit different. I hooked this one up first because I was having so much trouble with this, and this actually comes out almost like a wood screw in a way. This nut is part of the what are we going to call this, the bolt. So when you take this off, this bolt portion actually comes with it. So I guess theoretically you could actually bolt this to the top if you had a nut that fit. Well, I don't know what size that is, so that wasn't an option with me. So I went ahead and just screwed this back on top with what looked like a wood screw in a way. Just had real aggressive thread on it. So anyway, I got this off, and let's see. It's not going to fit it exactly. It's too small of a hole. So I think I'm going to have to use a Dremel and enlarge this a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so depending on how good your Dremel is, mine not so good, this is either going to take you a few minutes or it's going to feel like freaking forever. In my case it was freaking forever. You gotta take out quite a bit, and in my case I'm getting kind of lazy and I'm just going to wiggle it down the post, which I think will work at this point. Okay, so I got it on there. I'm going to screw that back on. I have to use the socket, of course. But hopefully this works. Probably won't, because that plastic's probably going to get in the way, which means I'm going to have to figure out another solution. Okay, so that was easy enough. Put it on, bend it a little bit. That way this is out of the way. Boom, it goes on. This, pretty easy too. Just put the wood screw looking part back in, and you're pretty much done. I mean, you put this back on top, and here's your plug. So what you're going to do next is you're going to hook your battery back up, positive terminal first, then negative. You're going to come over here, uncap this. Well, I'll just get to that. Okay, battery cables are now on. So what we're going to do, we're going to plug in our battery tender and plug in the car. All you got to do is put that pigtail on this one after plugging this in, and we'll see if it's okay. So I got this plugged in now, and the red light's flashing, which is good. It means it's ready. So I'm going to take that pigtail off here. I'm going to plug this in.
Huh?
And
are we frozen?
It's good, because the red light's on.
Guess what?
Okay, so it's all hooked up. It's good. Seems to be working. I'll check it in a few hours, make sure the battery's not getting hot or something. But it seems like I definitely know the hood's not going to shut off all the way. But let's just hope it can go down enough. Perfect. So now anytime you want to drive the car, all you gotta do is unhook that thing, close the hood, and leave that plugged in if you want, or unplug it.